For centuries, the Great Pyramid of Giza has captivated the imagination of the world. Rising majestically from the desert sands, it has stood as one of the seven wonders of the ancient world, defying time, weather, and countless generations of human curiosity. Yet, for all its grandeur, the truth is that we have only just begun to uncover its deepest mysteries. Archaeologists have long focused their efforts on this central monument, but the surrounding pyramids and structures of Giza remain far less studied, their bases still buried in sand, their secrets waiting to be unearthed. This neglect has left gaping holes in our understanding of Egypt's past, and it is little wonder that so many people question the historical narrative we have inherited. The deeper we dig, the more we begin to realize that the truth may be far stranger than any fiction. The Great Pyramid was built in the reign of Pharaoh Khufu during Egypt's 4th dynasty, around 2580 to 2560 BC. According to conventional history, it was designed as Khufu's tomb, a monumental gateway to the afterlife that would guarantee his eternal place among the gods. Its size alone is staggering. For thousands of years, it was the tallest human-made structure on Earth, and even today, it inspires awe. But despite all that we think we know about it, the pyramid continues to baffle us. No royal mummy has ever been found inside. No treasure has been recovered that clearly identifies it as a completed tomb. And as new discoveries emerge, it becomes increasingly difficult to say with certainty what its original function truly was. The pyramid was originally sealed under a layer of polished white limestone casing, smooth and gleaming, so perfectly fitted that no seams could be seen. In that state, there was no obvious way in, no entrance visible to the eye. When the Caliph al-Ma'mun led an expedition in 820 AD, determined to breach the secrets of this monument, his workers hacked and hammered at the massive stones until, according to legend, they heard the echo of a stone falling deep within. Following the sound, they uncovered a hidden doorway on the northern face of the pyramid, about 17 meters above the ground. This opening, slightly off-center, led them into darkness, and with it, into one of the most mysterious journeys of exploration ever recorded. The first passageway they entered sloped downwards at an exact angle of 26 degrees. It was barely more than a tunnel, just over a meter high and a few meters wide, forcing anyone who traveled through it to stoop or crawl. It stretched for more than 100 meters before ending in a chamber carved directly into the living rock beneath the pyramid. This subterranean chamber, unfinished and roughly hewn, measured nearly 30 meters in length and almost 9 meters in height at its tallest point. Its walls were halfway down that descending passage. Another tunnel branches off upwards. This ascending passage was originally hidden behind a massive stone block, concealed as if never meant to be discovered. It climbs almost 40 meters before opening into the Grand Gallery, an architectural marvel unlike anything else in the ancient world. The Grand Gallery is a soaring corridor nearly 9 meters tall and almost 50 meters long. Its walls are built of carefully fitted stone, narrowing gradually as they rise, creating a corbelled effect that supports the immense weight above. Along its floor are a series of mysterious slots, cut with precision, whose function remains uncertain. Some speculate they were intended to anchor wooden beams used during construction, while others believe they may have served in rituals or mechanical operations lost to time. Whatever their purpose, they add to the gallery's mystery. From the Grand Gallery, passages lead to two other chambers. The first is the so-called Queen's Chamber, smaller than the King's Chamber above it, with a pointed, gabled ceiling. Its purpose is a matter of debate, perhaps intended as a symbolic resting place for the pharaoh's spirit, perhaps a backup burial chamber, or perhaps something else entirely. The second is the King's Chamber itself,
a room of massive granite blocks transported from Aswan hundreds of kilometers away. Inside is a sarcophagus, also granite, too large to have been brought in after the pyramid was built. This means it must have been placed there during construction, locked in for eternity. Above the chamber are 5 hidden spaces known as relieving chambers, each separated by huge slabs of granite. These were designed to distribute the weight of the pyramid and prevent the ceiling from collapsing. The engineering involved is astonishing, evidence of a mastery of stone and structure far beyond what most people imagine of the ancient world. And yet the chamber, for all its grandeur, is empty. No royal body lies inside. No inscriptions mark it as a tomb. Only the silent sarcophagus remains, enigmatic and unyielding. Even today, the pyramid continues to reveal new secrets. In 2017, scientists using advanced scanning techniques discovered a massive hidden void above the Grand Gallery. This space, undetected for millennia, stretches for dozens of meters. Its purpose is unknown. Perhaps another chamber, perhaps a structural gap, perhaps something else entirely. Whatever it is, it proves that the Great Pyramid is far from fully explored. It still holds mysteries buried deep within its stones, waiting to be uncovered. Beyond the hidden passages and chambers of the Great Pyramid, the surrounding plateau has yielded discoveries just as astonishing, treasures that deepen our understanding of the civilization that built these monuments. In 1954, near the southern side of Khufu's pyramid, archaeologist Kamal El-Malakh uncovered what at first appeared to be little more than a pit cut into the stone. Yet inside this pit lay one of the most remarkable finds in Egyptian archaeology: a dismantled wooden boat, sealed away in pieces for more than 4,000 years. This was no ordinary vessel. Measuring over 40 meters in length, it had been carefully constructed from imported Lebanese cedar, bound together not by nails but by rope, using the ingenious mortise and tenon technique. Every detail suggested it had been built not just for function, but for profound symbolic purpose. Reassembled painstakingly over...
And this was not the only boat. A second, equally impressive vessel was found in another pit nearby, still sealed and awaiting restoration. Its preservation requires techniques not yet perfected, a reminder that even when discoveries are made, they can remain mysteries, waiting for future generations to unlock them. Together, these boats represent more than just artifacts. They are symbols of the Egyptians' devotion to their gods, their pharaoh, and their vision of eternity. Equally transformative was the discovery, in the early 1990s, of the tombs of the pyramid builders themselves. For centuries, popular imagination held that the Great Pyramid was built by slaves, toiling under the whips of overseers, in a scene of misery and exploitation. But the tombs uncovered by archaeologist Zahi Hawass and his team told a very different story. Here, clustered southeast of the pyramid, were the resting places of the men who raised this monument. Workers organized into rotating crews that labored for 3-month shifts. Their tombs, built of mud brick and limestone, were modest but carefully constructed, adorned with inscriptions and furnished with offerings. Inside, archaeologists found the skeletal remains of men who had clearly been valued. Some bore evidence of injuries, broken bones, fractures that had been set and healed, proof that they received medical care. This was not the treatment of disposable slaves, but of a workforce considered important enough to be protected and sustained. Their diet, revealed through the remains of food found in the tombs, was rich in bread, beer, beef, and fish, far better than that of ordinary peasants. In life, they built the most enduring monuments of Egypt. In death, they were laid to rest with dignity,
their memory preserved in the very shadow of the pyramid they helped to raise. The plateau has yielded other mysteries as well. In 1925, northeast of Khufu's pyramid, American archaeologist George Reisner made a discovery that stunned the world. Beneath debris lay the hidden tomb of Queen Hetepheres I, Khufu's mother. Within, he found a treasure trove of funerary equipment, gilded chairs, an ornate golden throne, a canopy bed, jewelry boxes, and delicately crafted personal items. These objects, dazzling in their artistry, spoke of unimaginable luxury and the skill of Egypt's craftsmen. Yet, amidst all this wealth, something was missing. The queen's body was nowhere to be found. Had it been stolen? Moved? Was the tomb a cenotaph, prepared in her honor but never actually used? Scholars continue to debate, but the absence of her remains only adds to the enigma. The treasures of Hetepheres, like the solar boats, provide priceless insight into Egypt's royal household. But they also confront us with unanswered questions, the kind of puzzles that keep history alive in the imagination. Even the ruins of Khufu's pyramid temple tell a story. Excavated over the years by archaeologists like Mark Lenner and Zahi Hawass, the temple once served as the heart of the pharaoh's funerary cult. Here, priests made daily offerings to sustain Khufu's spirit, ensuring his immortality. Fragments of statues, offering tables, and carved limestone blocks reveal the temple's layout. A grand courtyard, pillared halls, and sanctuaries where rituals took place. Among the finds was a fragment of a life-size statue of Khufu himself, one of the very few depictions of the pharaoh that have ever been uncovered. These remnants remind us that the pyramid was not just a tomb, but a sacred complex, alive with ceremony, sound, and devotion.
When we step back and consider all of these discoveries together, the solar boats, the workers' tombs, the treasures of Queen Hetepheres, and the ruins of the temple, we see that the Great Pyramid was not an isolated monument, but part of a vast, interconnected world of faith, labor, and artistry. Each find pulls back the curtain on a civilization at the height of its power, a people whose ingenuity and vision allowed them to build structures that still inspire awe 4.5 millennia later. Yet for every question answered, new mysteries emerge. Why was Queen Hetepheres' body missing? Why were such enormous boats buried in pieces beside the pyramid? Why do so many chambers within the pyramid itself remain unfinished or unexplained? These are not the relics of a civilization whose secrets have been fully unlocked. They are reminders that Egypt still guards its deepest truths beneath layers of sand and stone, waiting for us to uncover them. If the Great Pyramid symbolizes Egypt's dawn, Cleopatra represents its twilight. For centuries, the question of her tomb has captivated historians. Most assumed it was lost in Alexandria's sunken ruins. But Dominican archaeologist Kathleen Martinez, inspired by ancient texts, argued otherwise. She believed Cleopatra, who presented herself as the goddess Isis, would have chosen to be buried in a temple to Isis. Her candidate was Hetepheres Magna, west of Alexandria. Beginning in 2005, Martinez and Zahi Hawass excavated the temple. The work was grueling, but discoveries piled up. Coins with Cleopatra's image, statues of Egyptian gods, and even a precision-carved tunnel leading to hidden chambers. Within, archaeologists found golden artifacts and inscriptions tied to a Queen of Kings, Cleopatra's own title. Though her body has not been found, the evidence strongly suggests Hetepheres Magna holds the key to her final resting place. Then, in 2018, another mystery erupted in Alexandria. Workers stumbled on a massive sealed sarcophagus, untouched since antiquity. Fears of a curse swept across the media as cranes pried it open under the sweltering sun. From the darkness came a wave of noxious air, and inside lay not treasures, but a grotesque soup of sewage and bones, 3 skeletons, their remains discolored by centuries of stagnant water.
Though not royalty, the individuals appeared significant, perhaps soldiers or citizens of note. One skull bore a traumatic injury, and alongside the bones lay small gold sheets inscribed with protective symbols. Far from disappointing, Defined revealed a poignant story, lives of struggle and honor, preserved in silence for 2 millennia. Both the search for Cleopatra's tomb and the discovery of the black sarcophagus remind us that Egypt's sands conceal not only glittering treasures, but human stories of rulers, workers, warriors, and forgotten souls, all waiting to rise again through the work of excavation. Egypt's excavations don't just open windows into pharaohs' tombs and pyramids, they also push us into wider questions of catastrophe, myth, and forgotten cities, reminders that human civilization is fragile, and its ruins often bear scars of forces far larger than kings or queens. Some of the most provocative theories link the fate of ancient peoples to catastrophes. One strand, known as the Nibiru theory, envisions a rogue planet with a 3,600-year orbit that periodically sweeps near Earth, unleashing cosmic chaos. Popularized by Zecharia Sitchin in the 1970s, it connects Babylonian mythology of the god Marduk with the idea of a hidden 12th planet. According to this tale, visitors from Nibiru, the Anunnaki, may have even intervened in human evolution.
Nowhere does myth blur more intriguingly with history than in Mesopotamia's tale of King Gilgamesh. Ruler of Uruk around 2700 BCE, he appears both in the Sumerian king lists and in one of humanity's oldest surviving works of literature, the Epic of Gilgamesh. This story portrays him as 2/3 divine, 1/3 mortal, a hero who sought eternal life after the death of his friend Enkidu. His journey brought him face to face with Utnapishtim, the Mesopotamian Noah, who survived a flood sent by the gods to wipe out humanity. Archaeological traces, seals bearing his name, city walls attributed to his reign hint that Gilgamesh was indeed real, even if myth quickly magnified him into a semi-divine hero. What matters is how his story reflects humanity's eternal struggle against death, disaster, and the unknown. Like the Egyptians building pyramids to safeguard eternity, the Mesopotamians told tales that placed their fragile lives within the rhythm of the cosmos. Both cultures were wrestling with the same truth, that human achievement, no matter how grand, is always vulnerable to forces beyond control. These themes of glory, destruction, and mystery converge powerfully in the story of Tanis,